All right, guys, happy Thursday. We've got 2 5-minute AMRAPs with a 5-minute rest in between. So 3, 2, 1, go. 5-minute AMRAP, which stands for as many reps as possible. You're going to do 30 double unders, 20 jumping lunges, and 10 pull-ups. You're going to continue that for as many rounds as you can in 5 minutes. Once that 5 minutes up, it goes directly into a 5-minute rest. After that 5-minute rest, you then repeat that same 5-minute AMRAP. So once again, 30 double unders, 20 jumping lunges, 10 pull-ups, and continue to go through that. Suggestions on the clock setting: set it for 15 minutes. Right? Set your clock for 15 minutes. You know that this is the first 5, the second 5, and the third 5. Goals here will be trying to meet whatever you did here. So if you had, say, 5 rounds on the first AMRAP, then the second round, your goal would be to get 5 more rounds. As far as at home or scaled versions, we can kind of blend these together today. If you're going to single unders, you're going to do 60 single unders. Today in particular, since these are really small AMRAPs, you only have a limited time amount to work, I would stick with the single unders today instead of switching it up for double under attempts. If you want to practice your double unders, do that before or after the workout today. But during this AMRAP, during these workouts, stick with those singles so you can get through as many rounds as you can and stay moving. Instead of jumping lunges, we can do just normal lunges. So if the dynamic movement of a jumping lunge, landing in that jump every time, bothers knees, hips, things of that nature, you can scale it down to just normal, regular lunges. Our pull-ups, lots of different ways to scale our pull-ups as we're learning. First to go would be jumping pull-ups. So if you have a pull-up bar, utilize that jumping pull-up. You guys can kip these, you can butterfly them, however, they're not strict. You can do ring rows, so if you've loaned out a pair of rings or have rings at your house, ring rows. We've demonstrated the table rows before and the bed sheet rows. So if you have no idea what the table rows or the bed sheet rows are, look back in our video from the 7th. We go over both of those, the table rows, right? 7th, maybe the 6th. Actually, I think it was the workout on the April the 6th. Look at that workout, and it'll describe our table rows and our bed sheet rows. If you don't have a pull-up bar, don't want to do a table, our other option is a sumo deadlift high pull with some sort of object, which we will go over today. So if you don't go back and look at those old videos, our suggestion for today is a sumo deadlift high pull with some sort of weight, some sort of object in the same amount of reps. You still, even if it's scaled or at home, you're still going to do this twice with that 5-minute rest in between. Moving on to our warm-up, we've got 2 rounds of a minute of single unders, 10 ring rows or 10 renegade rows. We'll actually even substitute sumo deadlift high pulls in this. We'll show both today. 10 good old push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 supermans, and 10 air squats. Know that this is your warm-up, and this is like with any warm-up. I did it today when I scaled my warm-up today. Yes, I did put the number 10 here, okay? But just know your body. If maybe 5 is good for the warm-up, 5 is totally fine. If you don't think you're warm enough, you can do 15. The reps there are just kind of general. If you think you need to do more or less of any of those, just as long as you're doing and moving through that. All right, guys, we're going to go over the demos. All right, guys, warm up today. We've got 2 rounds here. 1 minute of single unders. Feel free to play around with your jump rope today, whether you're running, skipping, crisscross applesauce, however you'd like. 10 ring rows. You guys know what ring rows look like. Or 10 and renegade rows. If you guys have a couple pair of dumbbells, you could do renegade rows. She's in that tall plank position, pulling that dumbbell up to her chest. Okay, good warm up. These also can be used as substitute for pull-ups today. Then good old 10 push-ups. We know our push-ups. If we need to elevate or go to the knees on the push-ups, that's totally fine. Remember, this is just the warm-up, just trying to get in some movement in the shoulder. 10 sit-ups, good old classic sit-ups. 10 Supermans. So from sit-ups, she's going to roll over to Supermans. From there, up, down to the floor, engage, disengage, engage, engage, disengage. And then 10 good old-fashioned air squats. Air squat every day. Knees tracking out, weight in the heels, hips going down and back, core staying nice and tight. Moving on to our workout, as far as our workout movements today, guys, we have double unders, which the jump rope is passing under her feet 2 times. She's doing much better than the in-house competition.
Oh my gosh.
If you have to scale this today, guys, remember you're scaling to 60 single unders. You're just doubling that number and just going to single unders. Once again, don't worry about double under attempts today. Just get that single under work in. If you want to practice your double unders, practice them before or after the workout. Jumping lunges, very dynamic movement. This is 20 total. What I'm looking for here is the knee to kiss the ground. And when she stands, the hips all the way open. Hips all the way open, okay? What I don't want to see is kind of switch lunges and the hips never open. This is bad. I don't want to see this. I want hips completely open. One more time for the crowd. Hips all the way open, standing all the way tall with each switch. This is 20 reps total. 20 reps total. So that means 10 each leg, right? 10 pull-ups. She can go kipping pull-ups. She can go strict pull-ups. Just as long as all the way down. Extend the arms all the way down and getting that chin above the pull-up bar. You're going to rest 5 minutes, and then you're going to do that same thing all over again. Intensity is key here. Scale to intensity. If you're looking at 10 pull-ups, guys, and you're like, oh, I can barely do 2 or 3 in a row, scale to jumping pull-ups. Scale to something that you can stay moving. When I'm looking at this, I'm looking at 10 pull-ups, and I'm like, every time I get up on the bar, I'm going to do 10 fast and then move to back to double unders. You should not be in this AMRAP. In these AMRAPs, you should not be standing still and staring at either your jump rope, can't stare at a jumping lunge, or staring at the pull-up bar. You should be moving quickly through this. When we go to our at-home version, if she just does normal lunges, so if you want to take the dynamicness out of it, if you've got sore knees, sore hips, any reason you can't jump or be very dynamic on it, scaling it to normal lunges is fine. Even adding some assistance into the lunge is totally fine as well. Still keeping that number the same. Our jumping pull-ups can be scaled to, if she reached the bar, she's going to jump and get the chin over the bar, back down. Ideally, I think that's a little high for her. If you have a lower pull-up bar, that would also work. A tree branch, if it's a nice day outside, can also be scaled to as well. We talked about our table rows and our bed sheet rows a couple days ago, so if you need to revert back to that video, what did I say, on the 6th, the video on the 6th of April, we do go over the bed sheet rows and the table rows. Today we're going to talk about an object sumo deadlift in order to scale the pull-ups, right? So Sabrina has got a duffel bag. She's made a couple modifications to it. She took the big shoulder strap off. She also is using just the hand straps, and she's going underneath the bag. Fill it with rocks, books, babies, whatever. Fill it with something. She's going to assume her sumo stance, which is nice and wide. Her grip's very narrow. She's got a nice flat back for her deadlift. She's going to stand quickly and pull the bag to her chin, back down. That's 1 rep. If she does consecutive reps here, the bag touches the ground. She pulls it to her chin, back down. Goals here is to keep that back nice and flat, pull the object all the way to the chin, and then return back down. That's going to be our substitute for pull-ups today. If you don't have a pull-up bar, or you don't do ring rows, or you don't do the bed sheet rows, I would recommend doing something different than you did before. So if you had to scale to bed sheet rows the other day, or table rows, I would suggest scaling to sumo deadlift high pulls, just like that, if you have a correct object, just to mix up the variance. Questions? Good. Okay. Well, guys, so that is it. Happy Thursday. Get after this once again. 5-minute AMRAP. You're going to run through your double unders, your lunges, and your pull-ups as many times as you can in that 5 minutes. Once that 5 minutes is up, you're going to rest for 5 minutes. And then once that 5 minutes is up, you're going to go right back and do it all over again for another 5 minutes. The goals here is try to match as many rounds and reps as you got in the first AMRAP to the second AMRAP. Guys, have fun with this. I'm excited to see the differences in the AMRAPs here and how you guys scale your pull-ups. Once again, if you don't have a jump rope as well, you can think about doing jumping jacks, jumping over an object, and I still have plenty of jump ropes here for sale if you need to purchase one for your at-home workouts. It's a perfect time to get really good. By the time everybody comes back in, we should be, no one should not have double unders. We should all be doing double unders, all right? So that's it, guys. Have fun with this. And 3, 2, 1, go.